We, after a night of sleeping with some S&M zombies, and just sleeping in that house was just not right though, because it was a little crazy, a little creepy things going upstairs, but that's okay. We still slept because we were tired. The next morning, we decided to explore the town, or this subdivision, a lot more because there were plenty of houses we haven't explored yet. Well, the next one that we explored, we found it locked, so we tried to get in. And when we got inside, we noticed there was some food, fresh food, on the table. Expecting there might be people in the house, we didn't want to confront them, so we were going to leave a note for them and leave. But they caught us just as we were leaving. Held us at gunpoint and made us go upstairs. And there we discussed, what we were doing, what they were doing. Turns out they were the last people in the neighborhood. Everyone else had left. And it was just them. So we convinced them that, well, we didn't have to convince them because all the food in the neighborhood was almost gone. So they had to leave. And so we were heading off as well. So they joined us. We continued to, or tried to get out of this community because there were a lot of zombies. But we did break free from the zombies, get out on the road, and get away from the place. Then we noticed another development nearby that looked like it was populated. We saw smoke, we saw a well-guarded fence, no zombies, and we were going to check that out. But then we were approached by men on horseback. And they told us that that was their community. They were suspicious of us at first, but we convinced them that we're no danger. And they invited us to their little subdivision. I guess you could call it a small town. And we met a few of the people there. I don't recall much of the conversation, but that's where we are now.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you guys met a couple people at this new community. It's called Hirschbeck Estates, and you had been approached by, Daryl, and Daryl, the brothers.
Oh yeah,
pretty
the
much.
three Daryls.
And also what appears to be the leader of Hirschbeck is, well, I guess you could say that the community has chosen him. His name is James Caden. And he was one of the local firemen of the town, and so seeing that he had a little bit of public service, and with the community that went ahead and nominated him, even though he didn't really want to do it. So then you also met Father Kenneth, a pastor, a man of color, and he is the father of the Church of Our Savior. And he's actually, you found out he's a pretty darn good cook when it comes to a wild game. You guys had some deer. So where you guys left off, left off pretty much eating and resting. And let's see, we will pick up
One question,
Sure.
Mr. Jim.
Yeah.
Before I didn't get the chance to respond, but when we saw the meat that they had hanging up, did I recognize all that meat to be animal?
Yeah, that definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't a human meat. It was definitely.
It's a new community, you just want to make sure about these things.
No, you're absolutely right, because you had to deal with that back in Dalesbury.
Yeah.
You were being fed.
Oh really?
Some other patrons there. Yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah, it was a whole. They were conducting experiments, and they had told you that, Willie. Thanks for stopping by. But
first time I heard about cannibalism, though, Dave.
yeah, the cannibalism was probably the first thing. But yeah, they were actually being fed other humans. But no, everything was basically in haunches. There was like a rack there hanging, and he actually took you back and showed you the process of. They were pretty much hunting a couple deer at a time, and the father actually mentions a guy's named Michael. Michael is the one that goes out and usually finds the deer and brings them back for everyone to eat. So, but the hunting's been good lately. They're the only ones that have been hunting. So, well, that they know of. But you guys also know that there's been a couple bandit attacks as of late within the last month or so. So they've been dealing with
Yeah, and they
some
trying
of
to
that as
start a
well.
farm and shit too, Dave. Is what I recall.
Yeah, they have quite a bit of agriculture going on. You know, the beginning stages of it, anyway.
Right.
And you know, they've got quite a bit of it. You know, a lot of it's fenced in, so you know the aeronautical vermin cannot get into it. You know, the winged vermin, and all the flying zombie babies and stuff, they can't get in to eat it. So
Okay. All right. Flying zombie baby.
Oh yeah, that farm they had.
yeah,
Do what now?
the farm, yeah.
They were
Oh yeah, the farm. Yeah,
farm,
we
yeah.
saw that, but they said they didn't have no sprouts or nothing yet. As
yeah, they were
Jack.
trying to get some. They're trying to grow some crops.
yeah, they went and stole scavenged some seeds and shit from the feed store somewhere. I remember them saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
James said that you know they had plenty of fresh water from the stream, and they got plenty of supplies. They've been able to do a lot of salvaging, a lot of scavenging and salvaging runs, and they got plenty of, it appears to be plenty of solar power as well. And plus, the other housing community about 12 miles back or so, also some of those houses also have, so maybe in times of need back down the line or something, well, down the line, you might be able to find, spare parts or even
Right.
bring some of the units up to to Hirschbeck. So, yeah.
So we eating now, resting. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and we will go ahead and start off where you guys. It's pretty much at night.
Okay.
You guys, you guys have already ate. You've noticed that there's probably between being at the farm and Hirschbeck itself, you'd probably say you've seen anywhere between maybe 40 and 60 different people. And children and men and elderly and grandpas, grandmas. Good mix of people.
I know those old folks we seen sitting on the porch didn't really take kindly to it, to
Yeah.
strangers and stuff when we first got up
Yeah.
in there.
Well, you guys are pretty much at Father Kenneth's. You remember you guys were eating.
Yeah.
And you guys all have just had a nice warm shower, another nice warm shower. It's
Whoa.
kind of amazing. You guys have had a nice run of good fortune as of late. Especially with everyone, not only just one person in particular, but especially Willie with your excursion with Bubba, and then everyone else, Jack and Deshaun and Sam. You guys had been at that sort of like that camp area for a while, and it had nothing like what you guys are being able to do now. So it's been pretty nice. You guys are kind of made to feel at home. Father Kenneth, he has actually gotten all of your measurements, and before you guys went up to clean up, and he was stating that we got a stash of clothes, we got a cache of clothes, and I'll gather some up. We've hit a couple big stores. There's a couple Kmart's and Walmart's, and we hit all that up, and we got a pretty good cache of clothes. So I'll bring you some stuff up. And about after you guys get your showers and you guys get to brush your teeth, and you guys are feeling like $1,000,000. Knock on the door, and Father Kenneth sticks his head in. You guys okay? You guys ain't doing anything here, are you? He just kind of chuckles, and he brings
We
in
cool, Father. We cool.
he brings in a big old banana box full of clothes, Chiquita banana box, like a lid, and it's full of clothes, and he starts putting everybody's clothes in stacks, and gives everybody a couple pairs of socks and a couple pairs of underwear, and a couple T-shirts and a pair of shorts and a pair of pants, and he says that's to everybody's everybody's measurements.
Thank you, Father.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome. Welcome to the community there. I appreciate you guys coming by, and it's good to see some new faces, and it's good to see the community grow a little bit. I just hope you guys will stay for a little bit. I don't care. I don't care how it's
Have you all
pronounced,
been here?
Fluffles. As long as everybody knows what I'm saying, who cares? How long have I been here? Well, I've been the pastor of this church for about the last 5 years, I reckon.
So everyone here was already in this community?
No. Not some of them were. I know old Ben Cooper was. He was going to college at UNC. His mama and daddy, they unfortunately they didn't survive. And then I know Mrs. Alice, poor lady, God bless her soul. She actually has got cancer, you see, and unfortunately, she has good days and bad days, but yeah, she's still hanging in there as good as she can be. And there's old Harry. He's been having some pretty bad times with his wife, not around anymore. And then there's, of course, we got Jenny. Her it's kind of unusual with her, but she's got a couple children, and she's got a little boy named Brian, a couple years old, Kathy, 7, and then she's got another child, 15, little problem child, but his name is RC. He needs a little bit of guidance, so he can be a smart one sometimes, but he,
I knew an RC
Oh,
once.
yeah.
He's terrible.
nonetheless, RC's still a good boy.
God.
So what?
Oh, you know
Well-
Miss Jenny? Jenny Cardile?
No.
Actually, it's Cash, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
All these names, man. I don't know none of these motherfuckers.
Well,
So sound like you got a blossom, a burgeoning community here, Father. A lot of work for a man of God to service all these people.
Well,
they've been really lucky not to have lots of zombies. Everywhere we go, there's zombies.
Yeah, this
Well, that you managed to keep zombies off of this place.
It's nice, little Sam, because we get I call you little Sammy if you don't mind, little Sammy.
Yeah, that's alright.
I had a nephew named Sammy at one time, but unfortunately, Sammy unfortunately didn't. I don't know if he made it or not, but I'm probably saying well, I'm probably expecting the worst has probably happened. So they're in downtown Atlanta when this happened, and oh Lord, I heard that Atlanta was just overran by them zombies. But unbelievable. But I bet you him and his mama, they're probably walking around the streets over there in circles. Anyways, but that little Sammy was a good boy. So what you want to know again about the you got me talking about my family, Sammy. I'm sorry, we're off the beaten path. You know what I mean? We're off
I
the
was
beaten
wondering
path.
how you keep these zombies away.
Well, we haven't. We get a few stragglers every now and then plus we have when Michael goes out and hunts, he usually goes out by himself. He says he usually gets out there and puts a few down every once in a while. But I mean, we haven't seen a bunch of them. These people really haven't seen a whole bunch of them, except for the folks of the town that were basically infected with this illness of the devil. That's the only time that they've ever had to encounter this type of sickness.
Well, anytime there's usually a community this big, there's usually tons of zombies coming after it. So I was wondering, and do you have any special rules about being quiet or going out at certain times or what?
Well, you come and go as free as you want. Just don't bring him back here. You know what I'm saying? But I know every couple days or so, Michael, he goes out and hunts, and then we also have Mr. James. As you know, I think he mentioned to you that we also have a couple groups that go out and do trading with a couple of the other groups around in the area. So,
Yeah, what's up with these trading groups, Father? We heard about that too. Is there other communities like this out there that's hanging on like y'all is?
well, we do. The only thing that I know, and I really don't know if I should be talking. Well, I'll
That's
tell
fine,
you
Father,
this.
that's fine.
I will tell you this. There's a group. It's called the Sanctuary. This is
Okay.
this is what the good man James told me. There's a place, I believe, probably about 15, 20 miles from here. I think it's to the south, and they call this place a sanctuary. Well, this is where we do some of our trading. But then again, these bandits, they've been coming from the south. We don't know if these people are part of the sanctuary. We just don't know. But
Okay.
the last couple times we've gone out and trade, everything's been okay. But we'll just have to see. We've got everybody here. They've got positions. We've got I guess you could say we've got a protocol to where everybody has positions on the gates, and we got the crazy Darrow brothers. They're all trigger happy. They'll shoot a fly off of a sunflower out in the middle of the field. Those boys are crazy. They'll hit it from a mile away. Those boys are a good shot. But I think we're pretty good. But everybody here pretty much knows how to use a gun. Mr. James and also Michael, they've pretty much trained everybody with the basics of firearms, except for the little children. They don't need to be seeing that stuff. Not the wee little 2-year-old children and stuff.
Right.
But that
Eventually
RC,
They're gonna have to learn, though, Father.
that
This
RC is a good
new
shot.
world we live in is that kind of world.
It is, and I'll tell you what, that RC is a good shot too. But that boy needs a little bit of guidance, and sometimes he needs a little bit of guidance with a fist, if you know what I mean, with the hand of God.
God.
Sometimes
Right. Spare the rod, spoil the child, right, Father?
keep,
Oh my
keep
God.
that boy in check sometimes.
Good old hand of God.
Or you could pour some ants down his pants.
Oh,
That's very devious, Sam. Good God.
Effective.
Okay. So is there anything we can do around here, Father? You fed us, clothed us. I mean, we got to show our appreciation somehow, no?
well, just go ahead and get cleaned up and enjoy yourself and take a load off, and you guys go ahead and have yourself a burger. He's got sort of like a box inside of a box, and he takes the one box that had the clothes, and then he lifts that off, and there's another box under it with some more burgers and stuff, and then he said, "Yeah, Alice, she made some old buns. We had some wheat, ground it up, and she made some bread. So enjoy some venison burgers."
Well, y'all got everything up in here, man.
Yeah,
As I
for
grab
now
a
we do.
burger.
For now, long as we don't hunt all the deer into extinction, we all right.
Let's tuck in, Sammy. Let's eat some burgers and,
Oh.
and go exploring.
Oh, Dee Dee, I know what. Did you just say let's tuck in to the little fella over there?
Yeah, let's tuck in. Yeah, I don't know what sort of idioms you know, Father, but that means to eat. That means sit down and start eating.
I thought it meant to go to bed.
Oh my.
Father just kind of chuckles a little bit, and I said, "Anyway, then you got your clothes. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your dinner, and we'll holler at you later."
All right.
Thanks for it, Father.
Yeah, so Samantha.
Man, that's one
she
cool
comes over
brother,
and gets him.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
You
to
hear-
meet
This up with
friendly
everything.
people. For a change.
Well,
Yeah.
old Jeff, you remember Jeff, Caitlin's wife, Jeff Murray, the
Yeah.
ones that you
I
guys.
remember
He grabs a
that. He's
burger.
very trigger happy.
There's about almost there's like a dozen burgers in this box.
Whoa.
It's like crystal, man. There's like he grabs a couple, for the girls and stuff, and everybody starts passing them out. Samantha's tearing her burger up, and he's got grease dripping down, and Caitlin, kind of pokes Jeff, and
Those
You know,
burgers
kinda-
have buns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
homemade. Yeah, they're not the best. I mean, it's not a. They're really, you know, a very dark,
Glorified
yeah.
cardboard.
Wonder where
Yeah.
they got the bread from.
Well,
The woman made it. The father just told us about it, Sammy. Pay attention.
The
Yeah.
hamburger buns?
Alice. Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
Alice
like
made
a
it.
like a round, sort of like a round blob, you know, of bread. Yeah, sort of like a tack biscuit. You know what I mean? Pretty good.
I ain't complaining. I'm digging in.
Old Jeff, you know, he's eating, and Caitlin kind of gives him the sharp elbow on the side, and he's you know, she just looks at him like, you know, some manners around here. You know what I mean? Looks like they're a little tense between them two lately. Ever since you met Jeff and Caitlin, seems like
Trouble in paradise.
yeah, seems like
The
they're
honeymoon's over.
at each other's throats all the time. Kids are just standing by, just eating, and really, you know, just eating really softly and just having a good time. And it's sort of like it's actually sort of like a good times once again. You know, you're not having to worry about you know, watching over your back every 2 seconds.
No zombies.
I can't believe this place is as chill as it is, guys.
Yeah.
Something going on. Them damn zombies. Every time we sit down somewhere for 5 minutes, there's a whole horde of them surrounding us, and these folks is living the dream. It seems like.
Yeah. So you guys hear a knock on the door.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa.
And James is at the door, you know, and he comes in and, you know, kind of sees that there's an extra burger in the box. He grabs a burger and sits down with you guys
Whoa.
and asks you guys how you guys are settling in, pretty much.
Man, this place is great, James.
Yeah,
Father hooked us up with some new clothes, some deer burgers, man. Even got buns on them, man. Y'all got everything up in here.
yeah. He says, yeah, Father Kenneth. He's a passionate man. You know, he's cared a lot about the community. He's been here a good while, and I myself, I'm not the religious type, but I respect what the Father does, and he's definitely good for our community. That's for sure.
Well,
Man,
I feel
cooked some mean
obliged.
burger too.
Is
there anything we can do?
Chef. Yeah, sure. I think Michael's going to go out and hunt another deer. I know that he was saying that Father was letting him know that the freezer was getting a little low to his liking, even though I just looked at the freezer and the freezer's still pretty full. So I think Michael's going to go out and hunt a deer. So if you guys want to go with him, you're more than welcome to go. I'll ask him if you guys can tag along. Sometimes he goes out with a group. Sometimes he goes out alone. Just depends on really what he wants to do. I don't get in his way, so I try not to get in anybody's way. You know, they've got
Michael,
their
right?
way of doing things. Yeah, Michael. Yep, he's a
All
good
right,
guy.
I'll ask.
Michael Rhodes, actually. He was retired from the police station here in town. So yeah,
That might be fun, Sam.
yeah, he was a sheriff of Durham here. He had a little bit of a commute. I mean, we're still about 10 miles out of the major part of the city, but yeah, he worked there for probably 20 some plus years. I really hadn't talked to him a whole lot about it, but yeah, he's a good guy. It's like all the people around here. They're all pretty good. So what do you guys think? What are you guys going to be doing? You guys going to be staying around for a little while? Hate to see you guys leave already, but
We hate to be a drain.
we're not
on y'all's
holding you here.
resources up in here, but if we can help out, we'd love to. I mean, this
Yeah.
place seems like a
Thanks,
good
Smitty.
place, man. If everybody's willing, I look at everybody. I'm willing to settle down at least, James, for a spell.
Well, at least until we know why there's no zombies here. We were headed north
Well, we are.
because we thought there'd be no zombies, but this place seems to be
Well, I think you
Pretty
said
barren as far as zombies are concerned as well.
you said
Yeah.
you were going towards Colorado, I think, right? You
Yeah,
say
up that
you're
way.
heading that way.
The
Yeah,
frozen tundras up north. Yeah.
I remember old Chris Berman on ESPN saying the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. But yeah, oh man, it's just reminisce the days of TV. Boy, do I miss TV. Boy, do I miss watching sports, and those are the good old days.
Maybe we can get us a pickup football game going one of these days, Jack. You look like you can tackle a man. At least a couple of,
I've slid into a couple tackles every now and then. Yeah.
all right. So you know your way around tossing men folks around.
I played
For the population, I think tennis might be better.
Tennis?
tennis. What for? Are you a tennis fan, Sam?
Oh no, I'm just saying, due to the population that we have, I think tennis would be better.
Well, there's got to be.
I give Sam like a what face.
All right, basketball then.
A you what mate face?
Basketball, okay.
Well, I'm
down
sure
with
we could probably put something together. I'm sure we got enough stuff around here. We could build a couple nets. And we could put up a couple tennis courts.
Yeah, I can always help with that.
It'd be a great diversion for the kids and stuff. Don't you think, James?
Yeah, I think we do have some tennis rackets, and I think we got some of those badminton rackets also. So we could probably do something like that. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Well, these sorts of things, no one is going to be able to eat them or use them in other ways. So
Right.
and there should be plenty of them lying around in stores and things.
Yeah. So as you guys are talking about sports and whatnot, Caitlin kind of budges in there, and Caitlin asks,
You a tennis fan too, Caitlin?
no, not really. I'm a mother. I tend to just watch out for my kids, and I was a homebody before the shit hit the fan, so I never really got into any of that
Language,
stuff.
lady, language.
You didn't have any hobbies?
Once in a while I would, I don't know. Not really, no. I didn't have any time. When you have a couple young kids running around, there's really
I
no
elbowed
time for
Sam a
anything
little
else.
bit. Her hobby was making babies, Sam, if you follow.
Uh-huh.
Oh my! Dude.
Caitlin, she asked James. She asked, so where do you get all your supplies at? I mean, she just comes out and asks
Whoa.
like a very upfront question, And James just kind of looks at her and he basically flat out tells her that he's not gonna divulge any of the community's secrets of survival. And it's not that he doesn't trust you guys. He knows that you guys. He says, I know you're not raiders, obviously. I mean, you do have 3 kids with you and 4 with Sam. But not that you're a no offense, Sam. You're not a young child. You're a young adult. So no offense.
None taken.
But
I think we all grew up a little early
I think
these
so.
days.
No. But I just don't want to divulge those secrets to you there, Caitlin. I just don't think it's really pertinent. I mean, you guys have access to anything that we have is yours. I mean, Father has brought you clothes from our
Sure, you've
clothes
given us
cache.
more than we've rounded up in the past few weeks.
Yeah. You guys
Maybe
have
that's
food,
also-
water.
Maybe that's also why she's asking that question, because we didn't
she
find
didn't.
much and laying around, and well, here we find almost everything.
Yeah, don't take offense, Mr. James. She been cooped up in her house with her damn turtle family for the past years. So she ain't good at communications. She might be a little blunt, but she means well. Trust me.
She says, "Oh my gosh, I left the turtles at the house."
Oh, we
my
got the turtle.
God. Did you bring the turtles?
they made a big deal about it.
Oh, my little turtle.
Frickin' frack.
Frickin' frack, yeah. So why don't you give me a... Willie, go ahead and give me